In 10th place, chicken thighs, dark meat. Chicken is one of the most widely consumed meats in the world because it is accessible, versatile, and easy to prepare. However, it is also one of the meats with the greatest variation in nutritional quality, depending entirely on how the animal was raised. Chickens that are pasture-raised, with access to grass, insects, and natural foraging, develop a nutritional profile that is fundamentally different from chickens raised in confinement and fed industrial feed. Dark meat, especially thighs and drumsticks, contains higher levels of bioavailable iron, zinc, collagen, and glycine compared to chicken breast. These nutrients are essential for joint health, skin integrity, immune function, and nervous system balance. Glycine, in particular, plays a calming role in the nervous system and supports tissue repair and recovery. Another key distinction is fat content. Dark meat contains more naturally stable fat, which increases satiety and improves blood sugar response after meals. This fat is also essential for bile production and release, without which the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K becomes impaired. Diets chronically low in fat disrupt this process and can lead to silent nutrient deficiencies over time. Despite these benefits, chicken ranks lower because even high-quality poultry tends to contain higher levels of omega-6 fatty acids. When consumed excessively or sourced from industrial systems, this imbalance may promote inflammation. Still, when properly sourced, dark meat chicken remains a functional option for dietary variety. 9th place, turkey, dark meat. Turkey shares several characteristics with chicken, but stands out due to its micronutrient profile. Dark meat turkey is particularly rich in B vitamins, especially vitamin B6 and niacin, B3. These nutrients play a central role in energy metabolism, neurotransmitter synthesis, and proper mitochondrial function. In practical terms, this supports energy levels, mental clarity, and neurological stability. Individuals with high cognitive or physical demands may benefit from these nutrients when turkey is consumed regularly and in adequate amounts. However, turkey remains outside the top tier because it is relatively low in mineral density compared to meats from ruminant animals. Levels of iron, zinc, and other structural minerals are more modest, limiting its role as a foundational food. Fat quality is also less favorable, particularly in birds raised in intensive farming systems. For these reasons, turkey works best as a complementary protein source rather than a primary nutritional base. 8th place, pork. When sourced from pasture-raised animals or wild boar, pork can be highly nutritious. Its most distinctive feature is its exceptionally high content of vitamin B1, thiamine, a nutrient essential for glucose metabolism, nerve signal transmission, and cellular energy production. Thiamine deficiency is associated with fatigue, cognitive impairment, muscle weakness, and neurological dysfunction. When pork is properly sourced, it can provide meaningful support for the nervous system as well as physical and mental performance. The primary concern is sourcing. Most pork available commercially comes from industrial farming systems, where animals are fed grain-based diets and byproducts. This dramatically alters the fat composition of the meat, increasing the proportion of inflammatory fats. When poorly sourced, pork loses much of its metabolic benefit and may contribute to low-grade inflammation. For this reason, pork requires careful attention to origin and quality. 7th place, wild game, venison and other wild animals. Meat from wild animals reflects, almost perfectly, the natural diet and environment for which these animals were biologically designed. The result is meat that is exceptionally rich in minerals, such as iron, zinc, and phosphorus, along with a naturally balanced ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids. Another important advantage is the absence of antibiotics, hormones, and artificial feed. These animals grow without industrial intervention, resulting in a metabolically clean and predictable food source. The main limitation is fat content. Wild game is extremely lean. While this appeals to some people, the lack of fat reduces the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and compromises the metabolic balance of the meal. To achieve full nutritional value, wild game should be paired with appropriate fat sources such as olive oil, butter, or other stable fats. Additionally, availability is limited and cost tends to be higher, which restricts regular consumption. 6th place, Lamb. Lamb stands out primarily because it is almost always pasture-raised. This results in a far more favorable fat profile, with a better balance between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, as well as meaningful levels of CLA. A fatty acid associated with improved body composition, reduced inflammation, and metabolic support. Lamb is also rich in zinc, an essential mineral for immune function, hormone production, wound healing, and cellular repair. Its B vitamin content and overall fat quality make lamb a metabolically robust food. Contrary to common perception, lamb is often reasonably priced and highly palatable, making it easier to include consistently in the diet. It clearly represents the transition point between meats that are merely acceptable and those that are nutritionally superior. 5th place. Wild salmon. Wild salmon ranks high because it is one of the richest and most bioavailable sources of omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. These fats play a direct role in regulating inflammation, maintaining cell membrane integrity, and supporting communication between cells, including neurons. In practical terms, this translates into cardiovascular support, improved cognitive function, and protection against chronic inflammatory processes. Salmon also contains astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect tissues from oxidative stress and supports skin, eye, and nervous system health. Another important factor is the naturally occurring fat in salmon, which enhances satiety and improves the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. While farm-raised salmon is more widely available, wild salmon has a more favorable fat profile and lower exposure to contaminants. Even so, farmed salmon is still a far better choice than most ultra-processed foods. 4th place. Sardines. Sardines stand out for combining high nutrient density with low cost and wide availability. They are extremely rich in EPA and DHA, the same omega-3 fatty acids found in salmon, and also provide meaningful amounts of vitamins A, D, and K. When consumed with the bones, as is the case with most canned sardines, they also supply highly bioavailable calcium and phosphorus, essential for bone health, dental integrity, and muscle contraction. Another key advantage is their position low on the marine food chain. Because sardines are small fish and are caught young, they accumulate minimal amounts of heavy metals such as mercury. Sardines represent a practical and affordable way to include healthy fats, minerals, and essential vitamins in the diet. It is best to choose sardines packed in olive oil rather than refined vegetable oils, which can diminish their metabolic benefits. 3rd place. Grass-fed beef. Grass-fed beef is one of the most nutrient-dense foods available. It provides highly bioavailable heme iron, essential for oxygen transport and energy production, as well as zinc, which is critical for immune function, hormone production, and cellular repair. It is also one of the primary dietary sources of vitamin B12, which is indispensable for nervous system integrity, red blood cell formation, and cognitive function. When cattle are grass-finished, the meat contains a better balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, along with meaningful amounts of CLA. From a physiological standpoint, red meat has played a central role in human nutrition throughout evolution. The issue has never been meat itself, but rather how animals are raised. Fortunately, grass-fed beef is becoming increasingly available, and even when not ideal, it is often nutritionally superior to many modern alternatives. 2nd place. Liver, beef or chicken. Liver is arguably the most nutrient-dense food in the human diet. It provides vitamin A in its active form, retinol, which does not require conversion, as well as natural folate, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, choline, and copper. These nutrients are essential for vision, immune function, liver health, energy production, neurotransmitter synthesis, and hormonal balance. Long before the discovery of vitamins, liver was traditionally used to treat anemia, fatigue, and nutritional deficiencies, with consistently observable benefits. Because of its nutritional potency, liver does not need to be consumed in large amounts. Small weekly servings are sufficient to deliver nutrients that are difficult to obtain from other foods. It is a clear example of a functional, ancestral food. 1st place. Heart, beef, or lamb. Heart ranks at the top because it is a natural and highly bioavailable source of coenzyme Q10, a compound essential for energy production within the mitochondria. Without adequate CoQ10, cells, especially heart muscle cells, cannot generate energy efficiently. Heart is also rich in taurine, an amino acid involved in cardiovascular regulation, electrolyte balance, and nervous system function. In addition, it provides iron, zinc, and structural proteins in a highly usable form. Historically, consuming specific organs was believed to strengthen the corresponding function in the human body. Even without understanding biochemistry, traditional cultures observed clear benefits. Modern science now confirms that heart provides precisely the nutrients needed to support metabolic efficiency, cardiovascular health, and cellular energy production.